been a long time coming, but we're finally getting a new installment in the Metroid series. And while this isn't Prime 4, which at this point could almost be considered vaporware, it is a title with a much longer history. Following the release of Fusion, development started on a brand new follow-up for the Nintendo DS, but development would be eventually cancelled due to limitations, and over the years, attempts were made to get the project off the ground. But outside of a subtle hint in Prime 3 corruption, the game's existence amounted to no more than winks and hushed whispers. Until this year, when the game was finally revealed for the Switch, being undertaken by the folks behind the Metroid 2 remake for the 3DS, Mercury Steam. What still exists from the original concept is really not known. The game is set sometime after Fusion, with Samus eradicating the X-Parasites, only to find one has been located on a distant planet known as ZDR. The Galactic Federation send their brand new, specced out robots known as Emmys to locate and find it. But just like every Metroid game before, they lost contact, and it's up to Samus to investigate. No sooner does she land on the planet though, she is confronted by an ancient Chozo warrior, who leaves her disoriented in the depths of the planet without any of her upgrades. Thankfully, she is accompanied by her ship's AI, the consciousness of Adam Malkovich, as described in the ending of Fusion. It seems the memories of other M are still fresh in everyone's mind, as besides Adam, the game features no dialogue. Well, not in English anyway. Even so, Adam's delivery is incredibly monotone and honestly feels unwelcome here. Mercury Steam have taken what they learned from Samus Returns and really upped the ante with the gameplay. Samus controls like butter. Running, jumping, and sliding all over the place feels like a dream. Not to mention the parry attack has also made a comeback. Timing a parry just right will leave your opponent wide open to deliver a barrage of plasma right into their face. At its core, the game plays like any other 2D Metroid. Wide branching paths, big ass bosses, and upgrades to help you explore further. But what sets Dread apart is that this by far is one of the most detailed games we've seen in the series. The world of ZDR is incredibly varied, whether it's delving through an abandoned factory, a lush greenhouse, or the inner workings of a volcano. Of course, the main pull of the game is the Emmys, who have been corrupted and reprogrammed to hunt Samus. While we initially thought the Emmys would be all over the map keeping you on your toes, it turns out they're designated to specific locations. Even so, Dread lives up to its name with the unkillable Emmys roaming around ready to strike. Even just the sounds they emit keep you on edge. If they catch sight of you, just belt it in any direction you can. If they do catch you, there is an incredibly small window to counter them, but the times you actually do are so infrequent you're not fully prepared to run away. Even worse, because they can chase you between rooms, you can sometimes find them right on the opposite side with no way of knowing. To actually defeat the Emmys requires a special weapon known as an Omega Cannon, that can only be acquired by essentially being the same boss several times throughout the map. It offers a shore view that I really wish they would implement more. Thankfully, there are other bosses as well, and this time around it's not just shooting missiles at them until it croaks. They can get seriously intricate and almost like a puzzle. While it may take a few times, especially when they pull out a new move you didn't telegraph, once you figure out the pattern, taking them down should be a breeze. Thankfully, this time the game has checkpoints on top of save areas to make things feel less repetitive. Alongside the classics like missiles, morph ball, and various suit, we have plenty of new enhancements, including a quick dash known as flash shift, but more importantly, a phantom cloak that helps in a pinch when trying to avoid Emmys. The entire game feels a lot more linear than previous titles. It feels you're constantly being made to push forward with no real chance to backtrack and collect items until the game lets you. At the very least, all item upgrades like missiles and anti-tanks are highlighted on the map if you so much as see them to keep you from missing them the next time you get there. Another little plus is that the energy and missiles left behind by enemies will automatically come towards you, which certainly helps in the heat of battle. A few years ago we called Samus Returns on 3DS the best 2D Metroid ever made, and as good as that game is, Dread improves upon it in almost every sense of the word. Hopefully this is the start of a whole new era for Samus and the Metroid franchise, even after a lengthy development. Let's just hope Prime 4 doesn't meet the same fate.